Hello, B1 family, and welcome to the YouTube channel, The Big Black American Secret. I'm going to read the goal of this channel, and then there is an update on the Grandmaster Jay case, okay? Let me get into it. The goal of this channel is to build an unstoppable army of knowledgeable, melanated black people in America and around the world that understand that we as melanated people have one enemy worldwide. That enemy is the system of racism and white supremacy. Our mission through education is to replace this evil system with a system of freedom, justice, and equality as laid out by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. We will need your help in building this knowledgeable army. You can help by subscribing to this channel, by donating to this cause through Cash App or PayPal, and by sharing the knowledge and by sharing the videos you watch here and the knowledge that you gain. In doing so together, we help fertilize the mentally enslaved, colonized minds of black melanated people worldwide, creating the perfect mental conditions for our children to grow up in a better, more balanced world. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's video will be in the description. That video is a must for any and all black people who wish to themselves help destroy the system of racism, white supremacy. Well, in fact, even before they get to that point, they should watch that video just so they understand that they live within a system of racism, white supremacy, and all, if not most, of their problems are created for them by this system. I'm not going to get into that explanation, but do watch the video of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Again, that video will be in the description, along with my email, PayPal, and Cash App information. Also, to like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, and hit all so that you're notified when I make another video or go live. Have an update on Grandmaster Jay's case, but I'm not going to give you the update. I'm gonna let you hear the update from this. It's a group. Not a group, but it's a couple that I follow called TNT. Well, it's called Welcome to TNT with Mike and Jazz. They got an awesome YouTube channel that's growing. It's not little. I want to speak positivity into them growing, of course, but we all start off where we start off. You know what I'm saying? And we must support each other so that we all and each can all grow. And I always believe if somebody's doing a good job, then we should let them do a good job. I was getting ready to put together an update myself, but I said, hey, they've done a good job. So I want to show you their update, and I want you to become familiar with this couple. Also, subscribe to their channel and follow them. They're doing an awesome job. I can't say that enough. I joined their channel, I think a few weeks ago, because again, they do an awesome job. I can't say that enough, okay? Again, we are the B1 family, and we're grassroots. You know, it's going to be up to us, small individuals, all linking together to get our stories out to the universe and to the world, because the white media will not. And a lot of black people with YouTube channels that are large, a lot of them are, they're stifling. They're afraid of some of these tougher subjects. The subject of Grandmaster Jay. A lot of the B1 family won't touch this subject with a stick. You know what I'm saying? And it sickens me. But I ain't gonna say I understand. I'm gonna say that it's largely due to fear. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna call no names in this video, but you folks, if you watch this video, you know who I'm talking about. And people, you have to understand this one thing. We have to support Grandmaster Jay and other people like Ozone, because the system is designed to kill these individuals. These men have stood up with full black masculine energy to protect their people. When a black man stands up, we have to stand with him. We cannot cower in our boots. We cannot act like coons in this particular time. No. And it don't matter if you don't see eye to eye with whoever that person is. You might not like their philosophy. You might not like their religion. You might not like the way they look. It don't matter. Because the whole thing is, the system is starting to try to buck break Grandmaster Jay. People like him. And we can't go forward. Think about it. They killed every other black man that stood up in our past. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all of the Black Panthers leaders dead or in jail. Medgar Evers, you name it, they done it. We can't allow this to happen again, ever. And it won't happen on my watch. It will not happen on my watch. Do you understand me? What I'm trying to say is this. This is a racist, governmental attack against black male masculinity. This is a racist, governmental attack against black male masculinity. I can't say that more strongly. So please, if you can, try to understand that. I'm not going to be harsh in this video on anybody who's in the B1 family, because you all are doing a good job. You're doing your part. But what I'm saying is, if you can't support publicly, then please donate to their legal defense funds. And I'm talking Ozone and Grandmaster Jay. Their information or websites links will be in the description as well. So with all that said, I'm gonna let you hear this because it's a really good update. I really appreciate you, TNT with Mike and Jazz. Okay. All right. Let me turn this around and hit the volume.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You're now tuned into T. And it's your girl, Jazzy J. And we in the building, y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for coming through, showing up, showing out. We can't tell y'all how much we love y'all, and we appreciate the support. This one's important, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and please share the message, because we know people want to know about this. Babe, what we got going on today?
And we have a update about Grandmaster Jay. This just came out on the GoFundMe that is ran by Miss Eleanor Harvey, who's the organizer. Big shout out to Miss Eleanor Harvey. It says, for all the followers and supporters of GMJ, if you are not aware of the last minute no-show by the federal judge on October 6th with no explanation, you are now. Why would he not even want to face GMJ unless he too sees that this is a BS case? He has continued this case until October 20th. Even the media can see through the BS now and are beginning to call it such. Your continued support of the GMJ Legal Defense Fund is making all this happen as the defense being put on by this black man continues to push them back. Today, GMJ's case is the lead headline on USA Today and on USA TV. A segment of the USA TV interview, let me read that part again. A segment of the USA TV interview is provided here. Let us stay strong, family. This is the part where they will try anything to get GMJ. They are out of gas. We need our leader back, and they know it. Man, hold on, man. Hold on, man. And so they out of gas, just like it says. Yeah. They have no more tactics. Yeah. The only thing they can try to do is try to stall in any type of way. Man. When does a judge don't even come to a federal court hearing? Man. The judge say, oh, no, I'm not going. No, I thought y'all was going to put the other judge on that. Yeah. Y'all still, I told you I'm not doing it. I told you I'm not doing it. Exactly. And he did not show up. This is unheard of. Yeah, I've never heard of that. For a judge to just not show up, man, you already know they have nothing. They literally, it is over. So we got to keep that pressure on. We got to keep applying, because what they thought is, oh, people are just going to forget about Grandmaster Jay. People were just going to not support him. It was going to be another black man thrown to the wayside. And nah, y'all, you don't know GMJ supporters. You don't know what this man has done to wake us up. And we're not stopping. And they thought that he would just be pushed to the side and they could do whatever they wanted. And nope, it has not happened yet. So October 20th is the next date. Let's see if the judge will show up this time. But the tactics are to make GMJ run out of money. Because these lawyers, whether you go to court or not, you got to pay them to show up. Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, the judge didn't show up, so I get a freebie this time. No, it don't work like that. They get paid every time they show up to court. So yes, that's what's going on. We also attached the clip from USA Today, and we attached the clip from the article as well. So that'll both be here. So make sure you check that out, guys. We are not giving up.
That's right. That's right.
We are not giving up.
Right now is at $169,000.
We're so proud of y'all. Keep giving. Yes, keep giving, keep giving, keep giving.
We expect that to continue to grow.
Exactly. Man, we pushing GMJ to that 1 million. It's going to happen. We speaking it into existence. And we are going to have our leader back. We are going to have GMJ back to speak to us. It's not stopping. If y'all didn't check out the last video, make sure y'all go check it out about the little girl who dressed up like Grandmaster Jay for Black History Month in London. So this is worldwide, and kids are seeing it.
Yeah, it's not just a problem for the federal government here in the U.S.
That's right.
It's a worldwide problem for all of them.
And think about the mind of the youth, man. The mind of the youth. We finna have this next generation, man. This GMJ generation. Y'all ain't ready.
Some bold individuals.
Yeah, y'all ain't ready.
Outside thinking people, man.
Exactly. So that is the update. I know we had people that came on and was like, what happened? What happened? So federal judge didn't show up. Cases moved to October 20th. We are going to keep supporting our brother and donating, and make sure y'all check out this interview. You got anything else, babe?
Man, they just know as soon as this trial happens, it's going to be worldwide. They're going to put on even bigger stage. It's going to be an even bigger stage. And people going to start showing up even more and even more. And you're going to make him into a super celebrity more than what he already is.
Yep.
That's what you're going to do.
Man, that's so true, babe. That is so true. So thank y'all for tuning in to T. And we out, y'all. Peace. Make sure y'all check this out.
Yeah, man. They don't want to make him a black messiah.
Man.
So the fact that African Americans decided to form a militia is something that's been as American as the Constitution. We realize that our people need some type of protection, because those folks that are being paid to protect us, in our perception, are not doing the job. So it's gotten to the point, especially after the Trump administration, that some of the things that were happening, it looked like no one was there to stand up for us, so we organized ourselves into an organized structure within the confines of the law. The confines of the law is we're not a mob. The confines of the law is we're not a gun club. Under the confines of the law, we are a militia.
Like I say, those two did an awesome job on that update. I love it. I love it. I love it when other people do something real good that I can actually just put out there, because it saves me a whole lot of time, and effort, and it also gets them exposure. Okay, so go please subscribe to their channel and follow them as well. Okay, now I will be remiss to mention that this channel is called The Big Black American Secret, and the secret is you are an Aboriginal American. You are not the descendant of West African slaves. Just subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, hit all. And I'm going to give you a little proof, because you may be new to this channel. This information has been hidden from us, and it's been hidden from us because it's very detrimental to racist white Europeans. Those folks have stolen the identity of the true Americans, which are the Aboriginal Americans. The out of Africa theory is just that. It is a racist theory that puts all black people in Africa, making us all slaves. You see how that works? And I know that may be hard for a lot of you to hear, but I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings. I am only here to open the eyes of my people. You are on your own land. The dirt under your feet belong to you. I'm going to go to Google real quick. Like I said, I want to show you this. This will not be a long video. I absolutely promise you that right this time. I know I say that a lot, but I go into, I'm so excited about this topic. I'm also to mention this while I'm looking this up. There are also Aboriginal Europeans. In fact, here on the continent of America, let me tell you how this thing is. Let me just kind of give you a little bit of background. If you are a black American, it has been discovered, and you can join this channel, and I also teach a $49 video only class, well, information only, and $199, which is hand holding. It's those same videos with coaching. Okay, but if you are a Black American here in America, there's a good chance when you do your own genealogy, these are some things you're going to find or possibly find. This is what I found in my own family line. Of course, you are an Aboriginal American, Native American, aka Indian. You will also find Black European, mostly German and Irish, Sephardic Jews, and Moors. Why am I saying this? The Sephardic Jews and Moors were kicked out of Spain in 1492. The very same day that Christopher Columbus was setting sail for America, they were loading up shiploads of Sephardic Jews and Moors who would not convert to Christianity, and they were sending them back to Europe. A lot of these people went to France. Some of them went to other parts, of Europe. A few years later, England and France wanted to get in on the money that the Spanish was making in the sugar industry in the Caribbean islands. So they gave free land allotments. The French government and the English government up there in Europe gave free land to Sephardic Jews and Moors here on the continent of America to start plantations so that they could catch slaves. Our relatives, our ancestors, Aboriginal people were made into slaves to send those slaves to the Caribbean islands, to the sugar plantations. Now, they also, I guess they wasn't getting enough slaves from the inland. So what the English did specifically, they sent thousands upon thousands of Black European, Irish, and German people to the Americas. At the time, it was called a penal colony, to work in the slave industry to feed the sugar plantation and also plantations here in America. The king over there gave them what I call I'm going to make you a deal you can't deny, a good deal. The Godfather said, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse, right? You're going to die here in England in these jails, or live the rest of your life in these jails. Your choice. Or you sign this indenture for 10 or 14 years. I send you to the colonies as an indentured servant. You work out your 10-year contract. After that, you're free. You're a free man. You can buy guns, own land, start a business. You're free. You do whatever you want. Under those circumstances, death or unable to work off my work until I'm free, they all took it. Those folks were Black Irish and Black Germans. How do I know this? My own family. I have, I'm Blackfoot Indian, Sioux Indian, Black Irish, and I have Black Germans in my bloodline. Now, when you look at your bloodline and you see those things like I did like a year ago, and I say, them must be the slave owners. You know what I'm saying? Them must be the slave masters. You know what I'm saying? No, not the case. They have a system called the head right system. And you could Google this. I'm not telling you something that's deep. It's called a head right system. The father of a family here in America could get up to 50 acres of free land per servant or slave. Now, your servant can be your wife or your children, all of them, or any one of them. You sign an indenture contract with your wife, your sons that are of working age. Those people, with that contract, the government would give you 50 free acres of land per person. So when you saw that Irish person on your thing, you thought it was a white European. No, that was a Black European, and those were his family members. If you think I'm lying, I'm flying. I'm going to also put in the description, there's a video you should watch by Kirimio Aha, someone else I follow, and it's a story about William Ellison. He had a large plantation in the South, and he was a slave owner. I don't like him. He was a Black European. I don't like him because he actually breeded Native Americans, Black Americans as slaves, and he sold the babies off. But he was a Black man who owned slaves here in America, and there were hundreds of these type of people. You see, those were Black Europeans. They weren't Native Blacks. You see how the history is all screwed up? You on the right channel. I'm here to get you untwisted real quick. You understand what I'm saying? Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and hit all. Okay? Now, about you being an Aboriginal American. Let me show you this. This is a 1-cent copper penny, and it's pretty close to the color of the back of my hand. I'm pretty sure you can find one around your house to do the same. And then I'm putting into my Google search bar the 1828 definition of American, and I'm gonna read it. Computer's running a little slow, but here it is. Now, this definition is gonna tell you a whole lot. It's gonna tell you, one, who you are, and two, what you've been experiencing on this continent. It says, American, a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals. That means the people from the dirt. You're not a West African slave. No one migrated here from Africa. There was not anyway, the out of Africa theory is just that. It's a theory. It's a racist hoax. Or copper colored races. That penny is made out of copper. Okay. Now, founded by the European. Let me read that again. I was a little slow on it. American, a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans. Now, this part here, I want you to really listen. It's going to hurt your feelings because of the system of racism, white supremacy, we have a sick love for our enslaver. We believe everything they tell us is true. We love them. We have a sick love for these people. It's called Stockholm Syndrome, okay? It says, but now American, but now applies to the descendants of Europeans, his children, born in America. But now America applies to the descendants of Europeans born in America. People, that's called identity theft. That's identity theft. What these folks have done is they have made us believe that we're West African slaves. They have put in our history books on the TV screen shows like Lone Ranger and Tonto. They give us movies like Roots from Alex Haley. And by the way, did you know he was successfully sued? Settled out of court for $500,000. He plagiarized a book from a white author called The African. Google it, look it up. And also, too, they put in our history books the Mongoloid people from Asia. I call them Eskimos. Look at your 2020 census. Find the part that says American Indian. At the bottom of that, it says Eskimo community. These folks are Eskimos. This has all been an elaborate plan to steal the identity, land, labor, and resources of the Aboriginal American. And at the very same time, I'm talking almost instantaneously, especially during the starting in the year 1859. What happened in 1859? Charles Darwin wrote a book called The Origins of the Species and Natural Selection. That book planted in the minds of white Europeans, white-skinned Europeans, that they were genetically superior. And guess what's happened? They started acting genetically superior. They killed off the black Europeans. Those black people that they hung in the South who had land and plantations or farms, those were more than likely black Europeans. Matter of fact, I'm doing another video about this in a couple of days. There was a group of people called carpetbaggers. They ran up, I'm not talking about the carpetbaggers right now, but the black Europeans that they ran out of the South during Reconstruction, stole a lot of their land and burned a lot of their property. It was all called the Red Summer. A lot of these massacres, those were cover-up terrorist attacks in an attempt to get rid of the black European. Because guess what? If you're going to be genetically superior as white people, guess what you can't have? You can't have black Europeans. Because in our minds, that whole European continental area was all white people. Right? No. King James himself was a black man. King James, the guy who commissioned the writing of the New Translation Bible, a black king. All of Europe was black people. As a matter of fact, I got your attention for another few minutes. I'm going to show you something else. Show you something else you're going to find real interesting. And again, I apologize. This is an update for Grandmaster Jay, but anytime I get on these videos, I got to tell you who you are. You are a very special group of people. You are an Aboriginal American. You are the people who gave the pyramid building technology to all the world, even to Egypt. There are pyramids in South America that are older, larger, and better built than any pyramid in Africa. I'm not saying this to downgrade Africans. No, we're all melanated people and we're all B1. We all have to come together to fight racism, white supremacy. But they are Aboriginal Africans. We are Aboriginal Americans. Two different people. You understand what I'm telling you? Now, let me see if I could find another definition for you. Now, we're going to do this real quick. We're on the subject of the penny, copper colored. I'm going to read you and show you something else that's real interesting. Because they said that the people here, the Indians, the Chinese Mongolians, that they were they were the red man, right? The 1 cent copper penny. Look at this. This is a graph of pennies. This is freshly minted pennies. It says red. Older pennies, they get darker and darker as you go, red and brown and brown. Now check out this definition. This is going to blow your mind. It says, to accurately grade copper coins, you must be able to describe the color of copper. Over time, the bright orange-red color of a freshly minted copper coin, such as a Lincoln cent, will diminish and fade to a deep chocolate brown color. What people are deep chocolate brown color? That's you and I. As this degradation of color occurs, there will be varying degrees in both red and brown will exist simultaneously on the surface of the coin. This color designation only applies to uncirculated coins. Guess which one of these are uncirculated? These, uncirculated. Now, all circulated coins are assumed to be brown people. We are brown people. We are not black. Why did I say that? I'm saying that because my whole existence, I grew up thinking I was a black man. Yeah, I thought I was black, like the color this magnifying lens black, you know, but we're all just varying degrees of brown. You got some people in your family member that's light-skinned, damn near white, and other people who on the other spectrum that are blue-black. You feel what I'm saying? We all are just melanated. We all have different phenotypes. The Africans look like us because they're melanated, but a lot of them have different phenotypes than us. Okay, I didn't want to get too far off on the track, but I just want to show you one other definition, I think, to prove to you that there were black Europeans. I think that's real important. You need to know that. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. This document is it's from Benjamin Franklin. He is what they call a primary source, which means he was there at the time. Eyewitness account. You cannot get no more better as far as primary source proof than an eyewitness account, right? So he he was very upset that England wanted to send a whole bunch of German people here. At the time, he called them Palatine Boers. I think that was some kind of a derogatory term for those black Europeans. And that's the reason he was upset. These people were black. He did not want them. You know what? I'm gonna just let you hear the thing. But anyway, and this article is from the National Archives. This is Benjamin Franklin. He's on one of your bills. Observation concerning the increase of mankind, 1751. I'm gonna read the last two paragraphs, and you can Google it yourself. I'm gonna read the last two paragraphs, and he's gonna tell you himself was his own eyes what he telling you about. When I came across this a year ago, a lot of this went clear over my head. You understand what I'm saying? Because I thought, like you and everybody thought that Europe was all white people. And then they probably had some darker, like Italian white people, that's got a little tan. No, not the case at all, my people. So I'm gonna start reading here. It says, and since detachment of English from Britain, since sent to America, will have their place at home so soon supplied and increase so largely here, why should the Palatine Boers be suffered to swarm into our settlement? and by herding together establish their language and manners to the exclusion of ours. Why should Pennsylvania, founded by the English, become a colony of aliens who will shortly be so numerous as to Germanize us instead of us anglifying them? So he's talking about German people. And will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire our complexion. Okay? Which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionately very small. Now, I'm going to address that a little bit. He said that the number of purely white-skinned people in the world, and this was 1751, is proportionally very small. And he's right. Their numbers have always been small. Their numbers have never been great, but they call themselves the majority and us the minority, so that we would think our numbers were small and their numbers were great. It's all a big flip-flop. He's telling you himself here. In fact, Biden said the same thing. Couldn't have been more than a few months ago. In fact, Biden was upset. He was talking to a group of black politicians. I call them bootlegs. And he says, America's not only in trouble because of the blacks. America's in trouble because in 20 years, the white European in America is going to be a minority. And you're going to have to start working with the Mexicans. That's exactly what he said. You know what I'm saying? These white people are afraid their numbers are low. These folks are in negative birth rates. What does that mean? That means that more of them are dying every year than being born. And that is freaking them the hell out. To understand why that's freaking them out, watch Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's video in the description. That is the number one key factor for the system of racism, white supremacy. I ain't going to get off into that, but let me finish reading this. Just watch that video. Which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. All Africa is black and tawny means brown. Asia, chiefly tawny, again brown. America, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so. Wholly so what? Black and brown. And in Europe, the Spaniard, the Italian, the French, the Russian, and the Swede are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion. And swarthy means black. It means a dark-skinned person. As are the Germans also. He was pissed because they were sending over all these black people from Germany. People, you can't make this shit up. It's always been in our face, but we have been programmed to not understand what we're seeing. We've been misdirected so much. Now, okay, so Germany also. The Saxons only accepted, who with the English make up the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. So the Saxons and the English, principal body of white people on the face of the earth. Very small group of people. Now, I'm going to read that again, but instead of saying those, the tawny and swarthy, I'm going to just say what it is, brown and black. Which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. All Africa is black and brown. It still is today. Asia, chiefly brown. Yeah, those Asians back then looked at like you and I, but they had the phenotypes like this, the Chinese features. But during the overcast, during the last ice age, which lasted 10,000 years, in that area, Asia and Europe, parts of that, those people had albinos being born and they were multiplying. I won't get off into that, but that's why the Asians look like they look white. They're mongoloids, but they have the phenotype. Okay. Where was I? Africa is black and brown. Asia, chiefly brown. America, exclusive of the newcomers, black and brown, wholly so. And in Europe, the Spanish, Italian, French, Russian, Swedes are generally of what we call black complexion, swarthy complexion. As are the Germans also. The Saxons only accepted, who with the English make up the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. I could wish their numbers were increased. He wished it was more white people. Most racist people do. And while we are, as I may call it, scoring our planet by clearing America of woods, and so making this side of the globe reflect a brighter light to the eyes of inhabitants in Mars or Venus. So if you was a Martian looking down at the earth, why should we, in the sight of those Martians looking down, darken its people? Why bring more dark people here to the Americas? It's already a whole bunch of black people here. What does he mean by that? He's finna tell you. Why increase the sons of Africa, dark people? Why bring dark people like the Africans here? By planting them here in America, where we have so fair an opportunity by excluding all black and browns, of increasing the lovely white and red. White and red. The Indians was considered the red man. So he was talking about those brown Indians peoples, not Eskimos. There wasn't even that many of them here, and they mostly lived in the northern areas up there. See what I'm saying? It was already black and brown people here, your ancestors and mine. He didn't say, we don't want to bring no more black people here, the sons of Africa. People, 1751, Benjamin Franklin, primary source. Most people read this document who don't understand this, it go right over their head like it did mine. You know? But when you do your genealogy and you talk to your oldest living relatives, you look at marriage certificates going back through your line, your grandmamas, great-grandmamas, you find out who you are. On my mother's side of my family, Blackfoot Indian, Sioux Indian. Did not know this growing up. You understand what I'm saying? My grandmother, you look at her, she looked like she might be mixed with the Indian, and she had that look about her, long black hair, but she never said anything about this. Nothing. I always thought it, but I never asked. She didn't say nothing, I didn't ask. So after I found out about this, and I talked to my oldest living relatives, I was confused. I say, well, why didn't grandmama ever say nothing? You know, why am I just finding out about this? And my auntie told me, because not even her younger brothers and sisters know this. Her mother's, now here's why. My oldest uncle of their family was an excellent swimmer. He loved to swim so much he would bust the ice in the wintertime just so he could swim. He let slip that he was Indian. They hung him, killed him, and threw him in the river. His sister right up under him, same thing, let slip that she was Indian. 2 grown white men raped her and left her for dead in the woods. She lived. I have a picture of her holding me as a baby, but she never had no children. She died and didn't have any children. She probably was tore up from the inside. So my grandmother nutted up. She did not want to lose any more babies. I understood that. Now, I talked to my brother who's about a year older than me, and I was telling him all I was learning. And he said about grandmama, he said, man, I was thinking the same thing when we was young about how she looked like an Indian. He said, but I was curious, and he said I was about 10. And him, granddad, and grandmama was in the garden. At this time, they had moved from Arkansas. They had moved before I was born. And they were living in Illinois. And they were in the backyard in the garden. And he kept asking grandmama, you got to have Indian in your family. Look at you. You look like an Indian. Tell me, you got to have Indian. She never would say nothing. She never would say nothing. And then finally, my granddaddy said, boy, lay up off your grandmama with them kind of questions. We've lost too many people behind it. Too many bodies. And he didn't say nothing else. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? You know? And then when you learn out about certain things, like the Racial Integrity Act, Walter Pleckler, in the 1940s, our people were killed for saying that they were Indians. People, this is a serious subject. This is a serious subject. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're angry that I'm telling you that you're not the descendants of West African slaves, get over it. Do your research. Stop believing the lies of your slave master, because that's the person who told you was from West Africa. That was the person who told you was from West Africa. Your people did not tell you this. Talk to your oldest living relatives. Some of them know something. Talk to all of them. Again, my 2 youngest aunties and uncles didn't know anything personally. My 2 older aunties and uncles knew quite a bit. My auntie knew the reservation they spent time on when they were little. This blew my mind, people. That's why I'm so passionate about this. This is why B1, if we come together on our commonality, which is our melanin, we can destroy the system of racism, white supremacy. We can take back our land. Okay? I need everybody on board with this. No time for bullshit. Okay? Now, let me finish this article. Okay? I get passionate about this, and you can tell. But anyway, read. But perhaps I am partial to the complexion of my country, for such kind of partiality is natural to all mankind. Again, the Indian was put into Indian was put into our history books so that the white people could say those people, that small group of people, were the nation's first people. but they're not from the dirt of this continent. They migrated here across the Bering Straits from Asia. They're not from this dirt. We are. Okay? Again, I honestly didn't mean to go off on a tangent like that, but somebody needed to hear that. And again, you may be new to this channel, and that is the name of this channel, The Big Black American Secret. And the secret is you are an Aboriginal American, and you also may have Black European in you, Black Sephardic Jew, and more in you. You see what I'm saying? Because those were the people operating on this in the Americas at the earliest times. You know the saying, all skin folks ain't kin folks? That's exactly true. A lot of the people who I've always called these people Negropeans. I didn't know nothing about Black Europeans. I grew up just like you did. But Negropeans are people. It's a black person with a white European mindset. You know, your Terry Cruzes, your other black people like Herschel Walker, Larry Elder, Candace Owens, these type of people. They might genetically have a little bit more of that Black European in them than they know. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm starting to think that that's genetics. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can't prove it, but But anyway, the Black Europeans, a good majority of those people, were the ones who were, and our people also own land. Don't get me wrong. The Black natives own the majority bit of land, but the Europeans, a lot of the ones that you saw during the colonial battles and fights, like that one fella who was riding with, say the British are coming, the British are coming. That was a black fella riding with Paul Revere. That was a Black European. But they want us to think all black people were West African slaves. People, you're on the right channel. Get caught up, subscribe, watch all my videos. There's bits and pieces in all of them. You know what I'm saying? But again, this was an update for Grandmaster Jay. His court case has been continued to the latter part of this month. So stay updated on this. I want you to donate to his legal defense fund on a regular basis until this is over with, because again, black male masculine energy is being squashed and buck broken. In this case, trying to. They're not going to break this man. But that's what they're trying to do. If they had their choice, they probably would have put a bullet in his head before now. But that didn't happen, and it ain't going to happen. Something happened to him, we're going to burn this bitch down. I want you to understand that. Because we're not going backwards. This government is not going to bully us any longer. Ever again. It's time for them to get right or get the fuck up off our continent and go back to Europe. They need to start paying some rent around here. We are the landlords. Please understand that. Okay? On that note, I'm going to end this video, and I bid you a farewell.